The social model of disability is defined by Barnes and Mercer as a way of viewing the world developed by people with disability. It says that people are disabled by barriers in society, such as buildings not having a ramp or accessible toilets, or people's attitudes like assuming people with a disability can't do certain things. The film industry and film media represent an important source of information for the general public. Those who create film and film media generates content that reflects ideologies. In contemporary society, having deaf and hard of hearing actors and production crew creating their own content and roles within the media industry means we see less misrepresentation of the deaf community and can cultivate a more accurate understanding of deaf culture and community for the general public. A Silent Voice of Koe no Katachi is a Japanese animated film released in 2017 and explores the relationship between two characters, Shoko, a deaf student, and Shoya, a fully hearing student, that bullied her earlier in her life. As they grow, Shoya comes to regret his actions and learns sign language in an attempt to apologize. The English dub for this film was voiced also by a deaf American voice actress, Lexi Cowden, for the lead role. Sophia Golan has acted in many roles across screens, but is most fondly remembered by many for her time as a presenter on Play School. Golan's role in the children's television series both helped create inclusion and sign language resources for deaf children in popular culture, as well as cultivating more knowledge of Auslan for the general public. This Close is a dramedy series written by and starring deaf creators Shoshana Stern and Josh Feldman that premiered on Sundance Now on February 14, 2018. In an interview with Vox, the pair discussed the lack of representation for deaf disabled actors. Right now, people are trying to normalize what we see on television. They're trying to represent the world that we actually see and live in, but I think often disability is seen as a different conversation than the rest of diversity. They're basically the same conversation, and I'm hoping that the perception of disability follows in that vein. Deaf Australia is still fighting for multi-channel captioning. In 2012, amendments to the Broadcasting Services Act requires that all free-to-air TV programs broadcast between 6 AM and midnight must be captioned. In 2018, Free TV Australia updated its code of practice, stating that the commercial free-to-air networks must strive to include an Auslan interpreter when broadcasting matters of public importance, such as emergency broadcasts. The code states, where an Auslan interpreter is present at a news conference, official briefing regarding an emergency or a public announcement of critical national significance or other events, licensees will include the Auslan interpreter in the frame. While there may be exceptional circumstances where inclusion of interpreter is not practicable, licensees will take all reasonable steps to ensure that interpreters are included in the camera shot and in a manner where they can be clearly seen. Licensees should ensure that all key employees are aware of and familiar with such guidelines. Many deaf and hard of hearing people rely on captions when watching movies or other videos. Some cinemas provide closed caption devices such as Captiview. However, these are very infrequently available and also present a major issue of divided attention. This inadequacy has caused many moviegoers around Australia to create various petitions asking for the right for more open captions. Australian Open Captions Advocacy is currently advocating for open caption screenings in cinemas, with at least one screening weekly in every cinema across Australia. As we have seen throughout these topics, the 21st century has been opening up doors for members of the deaf community, and more deaf and hard of hearing people are creating their own content and roles within the media industry globally. Sadly, Australia has a long way to go in order to catch up with the rest of the world, but the change we as a community are making on both the television and the big screens is helping build a better representation of deaf Australia and closing gaps in the media industry.